going on, everyone? Daniel here. It's time to review Mr. Robot Season 2, Episode 7, spoiler review. Make sure you have seen the episode. It should take me about 2 minutes to recap and give you the pros, cons, and final score. Thanks again for joining me. This episode alone, I've said it every single week. Season 2 has just toppled Season 1, man. This show is going to win the Emmys this year, the Golden Globes. It's got it down, man. Sam Esmail. Every week I find myself sitting down on the recliner and I'm looking at Mr. Robot, and I just look up and I think to myself, fuck you, Sam Esmail. And in a good way, I'm like, God, you're so good at this. Why don't I think, when I'm writing my show and shit like that, why don't I think about, I like shows that are mind games and twisting your mind and you don't see it coming. And this show is the show that I've always wanted to create, except not about hacking and shit, but different subjects. But it's like, it's so good, man. It got me, and this is, again, also, I don't know if it was last week, but this week for sure, Mr. Robot has been renewed for a Season 3. Spread the word, ladies and gents. It's freaking amazing. Delete. Super excited, man. He's obsolete. But let's get right into the episode, man. I think it's like Handshake, technically, with all the code names and stuff. But super excited. I believe I've heard somewhere that Mr. Robot's only supposed to be a 3-season arc, so I'm hoping that's not true. In some way, there could be like Season 4, Season 5, Season 6, Season 7. Anybody? No, probably not. Nobody wants to see 8 seasons of Mr. Robot, because this is how I feel about Mr. Robot. Every episode that I see, I feel like I should be paying to see it, like $5 to see this episode or something. I don't know why. It's just good quality. Simple as that. Good quality for USA. So, without further ado, something in my throat. Let's get on. Tyrell's wife has blood thrown on her. Also has pain. It was something like that. But this girl walks up to her and she has her baby and everything, and she's just like in front of her house, I guess, or wherever she lives, or she's resting for a minute. And all of a sudden, I'm just going to say blood. This girl just throws a bucket of like pig's blood or something on her, or paint. Either way, it's not going to get out of that dress super easy. That dress is messed up, girl. Anyway, so she's screaming, and you can barely hear her scream, and she's like, Mr. Robot, man. I thought it was a perfect way. Usually it takes like 6 minutes or 7 minutes to get to that opening, the credits and stuff like that, the opening logos. But no, it took like a minute. And there it was. There it is. So I like that about that this week, man. So that's happening. Elliot killed Tyrell. From what we know, that he basically killed Tyrell, of course, and disappointment, but also okay. I'll dig with that too. Angela successfully hacks the FBI, as in like she got in technically, so Darlene could do all the work and stuff like that, so they could do that. So she was successful. Dominique was onto her in a way, not onto her, like, what are you doing? But she was like, what were you doing on the access floor, the restricted floor? What were you doing? I was just making a date with Agent whoever, Rodriguez, yeah, we're gonna go get some lunch and stuff. And Dominique was so just like on her, you know what I'm saying? Like her nose, her falcon nose and shit like that. She was like, what's going on here? I smell trouble. Stuff like that. With a nose like that, you can smell trouble. Anyway, Elliot is on the computer and he is playing chess with Ray. Literally, Ray is just, I guess, a psychotic psychopath, but he has heart sometimes. Like, you could understand the guy, but then again, you can't, because he's just messed up. But I love the way Craig Robinson plays Ray, because I've never seen Craig Robinson like this before. All I've seen him is just a funny Seth Rogen movies and a few other things too. I've never really seen him play seriousness, and he is intimidating. Like, if he was in front of you and everything, and he's making you like, boy, you better do what you're gonna do, or else you're gonna be put back into the pit. That's scary. And then you have the other guy smoking a cig and everything, and he's all buff and everything too. Like, you're basically their slave. And Elliot ended up reaching somehow the FBI or something on how they do. You could secret. I thought he was gonna like text Darlene or something, like, hey Darlene, I'm over here or something and all that. So the FBI's outside the building. They let him go, or Ray lets him go, and he goes outside, and the FBI invades the building and stuff. Tyrell's wife is getting a divorce. She has divorce papers, so I'm guessing she's divorcing Tyrell, because she's not married to that new guy that was like, you didn't even go to the party. you're supposed to be my girlfriend, but you know that guy that I think his name is Derek, and she got divorce papers. I guess she's like, yeah, here's the divorce papers, of course, for Tyrell. I don't know if it was already signed or if that was already a thing or if she's gonna get divorced. Because from my knowledge, she's not married to that guy. But either way, that's not the point. She wants to be with this guy, Derek. And finally, she's coming to senses where she doesn't need to be all richy and, ooh, let's go to Puerto Rico and shit like that. Like, she could just be with Derek and have a normal life like a regular normal human being should. Now, Elliot is threatened by this guy while he's at the basketball court and stuff, and this guy looks like a Nazi guy. I mean, like, let's be honest, it was a group of a bunch of white guys, and they were a lot of them were bald, and they looked like, supremacists or whatever you call them and stuff, and he's like, hey, you messed up my hack, man. Ray got caught and shit, like, and all that, and so he's threatened by the guys. Angela wants an upgrade. The Bulls' balls that were cut like in season 2, episode 1, when Darlene and her people cut the balls off that steel bull and shit. The bull's balls end up going through this court, which I thought it looked funny because the way the effects were done. I love the way the courtroom looked like it was actually on a courtroom TV, and you know how like a boring it looks and shit like that. And then the balls come down, the bull's balls, and it was so CGI'd that it like fell like it was so computerized. But still, I mean, it doesn't ruin the experience. I'm not like, oh, this sucks, I'm changing the channel or anything like that. Still, also, Elliot is grabbed by these guys, the same guys that threatened him earlier. He's walking past an alleyway, and they end up grabbing him, putting him in there. Well, they're going to hurt him very bad. I think even a second they were going to rape him. I think they put him near the gate, and they're going to have their way with Rami Malek, man. I mean, okay. But anyway, this guy ends up saving him. I thought, I was like, oh shit, Michonne from Walking Dead coming up and killing them with a sword. No, it was actually the guy, his friend, that talks about Seinfeld all the time, and he has the knife and everything, and he actually took them down. I'm like, damn, this guy is G. He's like an assassin. He's a hitman. I don't know what's going on with him, but he ended up killing all those guys, cutting their throats and stuff like that. And I think he stuck the knife up a guy's ass, too. And pretty intense stuff. So that ends up happening. His friend kills them. Angela is at the new office, and her boss is a douche. He says, Price ended up giving me fair warning about you, and I get to do what I want with you, basically. Not like come here, baby. Nothing like that, but I mean, like, I want to make your life a living hell, basically, or some shit like that. Like, I'm going to have my eye on you. It ain't going to be easy for you here. You wanted the upgrade. Here it is. And he's like, I don't know whose dick you suck to get up on. It's just a dick, man. So, hopefully Angela, maybe one day will just, like, push him out a window or something. Like, oh, he slipped. Look, the banana peel's right there. Throw the banana peel on the ground. He slipped, guys. Whoa. That'd be cool. At the end of the day, the theories are true. We've all heard the theories. Elliot is in jail, or in prison, excuse me. Elliot's in prison. I thought that, and many people thought too, and I was thinking to myself, yeah, he's probably in a mental institution, but he's in a prison. From my knowledge, he's in a prison, not a mental institution. So, that got me so much. Not where I was like, what? What? No! But I was just like shocked, like, wow. Now it makes sense, but yet it doesn't make sense. It's like 50-50, right? 50% of it makes sense. That makes sense now. And the other 50% of it's like, really? Okay, yeah, sure. It works too, I guess. But overall, man, my pros and cons for this. First off, on the pros for this Mr. Robot episode, the twist of it all. I mean, I honestly think it is a genius twist. Just how he's in prison and how he was talking and she's like, whatever, with his doctor and counselor, whatever, therapist, and, you're not at your mom's house. He's like, I know. Stuff like that. It's all, control is an illusion and everything. Like, power is an illusion, control is an illusion. I lied to you guys. I'm going to be honest from now on. And I thought that was just a genius way of kind of showing you that factor of Elliot, how he's going to be honest with us from now on. The opening of the episode, obviously Tyrell's wife getting blood on her and stuff, and not a lot of people like her, so I'm kind of sad they didn't go back to her and Derek there. Elliot and his mind, the way the dialogue's written for this show, the way it's directed, the look, the cinematography, the lighting, the tone, everything about it. Christian Slater, dude, as Mr. Robot, the little moments he had even in the church group area where it was all dark and the lighting was perfect, and you see Christian Slater on the side, and he's like you've known all this time and stuff. Like, this is it. Like, you know, I listened to you every time. You know, me and you are the same. I am you, just like Manson said in Aquarius. I am everyone, and everyone is me. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what he's saying. You know, so the whole stuff of Angela too. I think Angela is just, she's grown from, you know. She's a stronger character, and she's taking shit right now. But I don't think she's gonna like. She'll get back at. I love how Price, or is it Prince or Price? I think it's Price. He was like, "Do you want to spend my birthday with me?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, that's like again." Mr. Bean would be like, "What?" That's what he would do. So I literally was kind of happy, you know, Angela is, you know, going through her stuff, but she'll get back at a lot of people. Angela will come out you know, she'll come out at the top, man. She will reign the thrones. Daenerys won't beat her, and frickin' Cersei will be Angela Moss on the, is it Angela Moss? It may not be Angela Moss. I think I know we're going to Angela Moss. It may be just Angela. Excuse me for that. Anyway, that's random. So anyway, Ray is letting Elliot go. I thought that was also an interesting aspect as well. Ray and the chess and the whole metaphor of him playing the chess and, you know, always, like, how much time do I got? He's like, they're probably surrounding the building right now. All that aspect there and the mind games that's been going on kind of makes this season 2 even better. As in, it all makes sense now why everything, you know, from going to talking to the guy every single day about Seinfeld, it was just in the lunchroom, and it all makes sense now. Still, some things have to be explained, and I'm assuming they'll show the way he killed Tyrell. I know they explained it, but I'm assuming they'll show him kill Tyrell. I'm hoping so. But the cons for this episode, the stuff that I didn't like that much, man, for sure. They never go back to Tyrell's wife and Derek. They never go back to that situation. Of course, they'll go back next week or so. Also, they never really show Darlene that much. Like, Darlene's in the episode, and she's kind of, like, hanging around. Next week's going to be a bigger episode of Darlene, of course, but it's kind of weird how she never really mentions Elliot as in, like, oh, in prison and stuff. And, like, I guess they've messed with it a few weeks ago, but they never, like, she's not, my brother's in prison, or, you know, like, she's not, you know, you'd think she'd mention something or something like that. The Bulls balls falling, the whole effects there and stuff. I mean, that, again, it doesn't ruin the moment, but it's still a con. I mean, come on. It was so it was out of place, and then it just happened in a way. But overall, man, I enjoyed this episode a lot. That was a really good episode. You know, was it better than last week's Alf episode in the 1980s sitcom? Ooh, man, it's hard to say. I mean, I thought this episode was really good. Didn't think it was great. But again, as you know, the directing, the writing, the cinematography, the look, the acting, everyone did an awesome job. The cast is amazing. I'm super happy that this was picked up for a season 3. This show is awesome. If you're not watching this show, then come on, get onto it, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to give this Mr. Robot episode a B+, man. Really good episode. Super enjoyed it. And he's in jail. That's it. I know a lot of people thought it was mental asylum, or whether he was in, I don't know, rehab or prison or jail itself. Obviously, jail more prison. So it's interesting. I'm glad they finally revealed that twist, and they revealed that Tyrell's dead. I mean, at least from what we know. I mean, they revealed quite a lot of stuff in this episode that are big, and that's going to be changing over the next few episodes, so that's really cool. Thanks again, guys. Comment down below and let me know what you thought about Mr. Robot this episode alone. And if you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button. I really would appreciate that. And share with your friends. Hit that subscribe button. I'm on the road to 500 subs, so if you guys want to be part of it all, man, every week I review Mr. Robot movie reviews, a lot of TV show reviews, a bunch more, man. So much stuff on the show. I mean, on the channel itself, man. So much content. Hit that subscribe button. Please feel free to check out the channel. I really would appreciate it. Anyway, I'll see you next week for more Mr. Robot. Till next time. I'm sorry it took me almost like a week to get this review out. Every now and then I don't review for a few days, like TV shows, and I'm a little rusty. So as you can tell, I'm a little rusty this whole episode. So it gets time to get, I got to get used to it again. So thanks a lot. Till next time. Bye-bye.